It was a quiet winter morning in Boise, Idaho. The sky was pale blue, and the streets were still waking up. Ethan Miller, a 38-year-old carpenter, stood at the window of his small apartment, holding a cup of coffee that had already gone cold. Ethan was a good man, gentle, patient, hardworking. But inside, he carried a tired heart. Years of loneliness had slowly built a silence around him. He prayed each night for one thing: someone to love. Someone who would see him, choose him, stay with him. One snowy afternoon, Ethan drove to a small diner on the edge of town. It was the kind of place where the smell of pancakes mixed with the sound of old country music playing softly in the background. He went there often, not for food, but because somehow, it made him feel less alone. That day, when he pushed open the door, he noticed a woman sitting by the window. Her clothes were thin, her hair messy, her hands trembling. She looked like she was trying not to cry. Something inside Ethan stopped. He didn't know her, but he felt her pain like his own. The waitress whispered to him, "She's been sitting there for hours, she hasn't ordered anything." Ethan looked again. The woman kept staring at her empty cup, lost somewhere far away. With a quiet breath, Ethan walked to her table and said softly, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" She looked up, and her eyes were filled with a tired sadness. "My name is Grace," she whispered. I don't know where else to go." Ethan didn't ask questions. He didn't judge her. He simply sat down and said, "You're not alone. Not today." He ordered her a warm meal. He stayed while she ate slowly, as if every bite reminded her of everything she'd been running from. When she finally spoke, her voice was shaking. "I left everything. A bad home, a life that kept hurting me. I thought maybe God forgot about me." Ethan felt something shift inside him. Maybe he had been waiting for love. But maybe, love had been waiting for him to give it first. He bought her a winter coat from the store across the street. He drove her to a small women's shelter where she could stay safely. Before she stepped out of the car, Grace turned to him with tears in her eyes. "You saved me today," she said. "You don't even know me, but you showed me kindness when I had nothing." Ethan smiled softly. "Someone once told me, when you give love, God gives it back in ways you don't expect." As the shelter door closed behind her, Ethan sat in his car, heart warm for the first time in years. He had prayed for someone to fill the empty space in his life. But that day he realized something powerful. Sometimes, God answers your prayer by making you the answer to someone else's. A week later, the shelter called him. Grace had found a job. She was healing, smiling, rebuilding her life. She asked if she could thank him again. Ethan stood by the window, the same window where he once waited for love. But this time, he wasn't waiting. His heart was full. He didn't just find love. He became it. And in that moment, he understood. The love you give away always finds its way back to you. Moral: when God doesn't give you what you're asking for, it's because He's preparing you to give something greater. True love isn't always romantic, it's the courage to lift someone who has fallen. And that kindness becomes the miracle. If you believe in kindness, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Peaceful Stories.